Okay, let's give this a try. Are you planning to play Cities 2? If you are, wow, that's quite the bounce on that road. Yeah, squirrel. If you are planning to play Cities 2, then what I plan to tell you, and the reason I say that is because one of their videos for Cities 2, I heard them talking about the traffic. And from what we realized, they travel the quickest route. If you can give them a quickest route. If you can't give them a quickest route, then they'll try to go for the shortest route. Well, in that video, she was saying that there's going to be another mechanic or another behavior. Actually, to paraphrase, she said they're going to have more choices than the quickest route to determine where they're going to go. And that should be interesting. I wonder if they're going off of what I'm about to tell you. Like, did they discover it somehow and now they're going to accentuate it in the next game? Or did they always know, and because of what happened to City Skylines at its release, that, I don't know, it just never came out. What I'm going to show you today is another choice that they have, that they use to choose their path. And it's all going to be about this road construction I built. And what in the last video I claimed that what happens is traffic will they migrate from one path to the next path and back. Today I'm going to prove that point, and you're going to get a visual of it actually bouncing back and forth, and I want to talk about this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay in this view for, I don't know, maybe I only need a few minutes. Well, a few minutes. So do yourself a favor, put this on mute and go and fast forward and watch this switch back and forth. All right, and then come back, and then we'll have a talk about this. All right, so I'm going to put this on 100%. This is usually, 35 one speed. That's where I like to play. But for this, in order for it to switch quick enough or migrate back and forth, we're going to go to speed 3, 100%. Look at that stuff clip. All right, so go watch this on fast forward all the way through and then come back. And, so did you notice the same thing that I noticed? Well, that I claimed? Is that traffic, like here, will take one road, then the other. Now, funny enough, I had a narrative and I totally forgot how I was going to go about this. All right, so as I sit here and pick, so let us begin, shall we? When I had the issue here of the traffic jam or the rush hour event, and I needed to solve, well, this wasn't the first thing that I gravitated to. No, this was the last idea that I pulled out of the box. The first thing I gravitated to was to try to fix this intersection, because this is 4 lanes, 2 lanes going this way and 2 lanes going that way, because I thought this lineup was being caused because of lane forcing, or you know what I mean, being pushed over. But no, I changed those lanes and nothing happened, nothing at all. So that was my only choice, other than tearing this thing apart. And how you see how it's a bi-directional road right up until right there, and then it's a one-way road out there. Well, short of removing that, nothing was going to change, and this lineup here would constantly happen. So I don't know. I got some work to do. If I can find a 5-lane, maybe that will work here, because I'm kind of thinking I don't even know what I think anymore with that. I want to stick with this. I want to show you, well, I claimed, like I said, that traffic would use one lane or one path, and then they would use the other. As you can see right now, they're sort of equal, and the 6th lane is going green. Now, why? Why are they switching? Right? I mean, if they're both the same, then wouldn't they choose, like, throw dice on the table and go, okay, we're taking that way? But they don't. Look how green that is. That means something to me. It means that they're all getting a signal from somewhere to go, everybody, change now. Right? So then everybody back here starts to change. Now, I was doing more experiments with this, and I made multiple ones. I've got a pair here and a pair there of the exact same sort of thing, where the roads are so equal that they migrate from back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth between the two pathways. And they do the same thing there and there as they do here. Right? Now, even though I guess I really didn't really change their pathway. Here's my problem. In order for one of these pathways to go completely green, right, then everybody before the cloverleaf has to decide which way they're going to go. And then they're going to have to change back, right? And this seems like such a mixing area that it would be hard-pressed that they would do that. Look, like nobody's using the ramp now. What if, okay, what if the road is sending a signal out? And what if they can make a choice based on congestion? That would change a lot of rules when it comes to designing main roads and thoroughfares, right? You could have 2 rows or 2 main routes out, or like 2 main streets, side by each. And I don't mean side by each, I mean make a small block. Something like that, right? And set this sort of situation up, because as far as I can tell, when the road gets congested, it sends a signal back. The signal back is received, and at a certain point, all the traffic goes, okay, we're going to switch over. Like right now, the ramp road, or the bypass, that's the bypass, is red, right? The 6th lane is green, and as this bypass goes green, you'll notice that the 6th lane will go red at the same time. So they're getting a signal from somewhere to switch over. And because of distance, right? It could be the cloverleaf that's doing this, they're making it merge or turn over slow. But that's not true either, because at the cloverleaf, like I said, they do the exact same thing. They slowly migrate over. To me, it's almost like there's a standard procedure. Oh, yeah, the highway's always the same color too. Like when you saw it, fast forward, isn't that how would you not imagine that? I know it sounds absolutely ridiculous, doesn't it? For a game that's been broken for so many years, to find out that if we knew how it ran, they would choose the flow map. They would use this flow map to determine which path to go, or to use multiple paths. So I'm thinking this is the thing that they're going to accentuate in Cities 2, so that you can have 2 main roads, and they'll alternate between the 2 sort of, or something like this, right? Or they've known about this all along, and that because, well, in the release of City Skylines, it was quickly established by the dominant YouTubers that the game was broken, and that Traffic Manager had to be made. Unfortunately, Traffic Manager was made based on a broken traffic system. So when you use Traffic Manager, I think this behavior disappears because it takes it over. I really don't know. I'm just talking, right? But what's making them change? Doesn't it make sense that it would be that the congestion is setting a signal up? Actually, now that I think about it, like I've been on the quest to figure out why is it if when you have a backup, like say in the middle of a city, and it starts slowly backing up, and it'll back up all the way out to the off-map connection. Why doesn't it start at the off-map connection? Right? It doesn't. It slowly migrates out there. Like when the backup is new, sure, it'll start blocking the one lane, and everybody in all three lanes or multiple lanes will start to try to push their way in. But as that backup stays, everybody starts getting the signal to change back or change into that problem issued lane earlier, right? And then earlier, and then earlier, and then earlier, all the way out to the off-map connection. What if they're doing that because when you have cars sitting on a piece of road, it makes it red? So that they're reading the redness and going, oh, I got to do my stuff earlier. And bam, 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 bam. And if you haven't fixed it, it goes all the way out to the off-map connection. They've been doing it all along, reading the flow map. And I kind of knew, right? But I didn't know how to express it. Like I've been trying to tell people there's more to this game than meets the eye, right? Or there's more to traffic than meets the eye. Or, but because I couldn't find the words. And then when this happened, when I built this thing, which was the only thing that would help the traffic here, and then watched through this view what was happening, the only assumption I could come up with is the reason they're jumping back and forth is because one path gets congested, so they send a signal back, right? What is it? Bypass corridor is congested. Please use the 6 lane. And they eventually move over, right? Like right now, that's a signal that's got sent out. The 6 lane is still greening up. It's amazing how nobody's turning right now, allowing it to green up that much. But wouldn't that be a kick in the pants all this time? And I think it has been there all this time. The videos I played, right? What if it's not a traffic jam? Remember that? And I was showing you here and there. It's like, well, the problem was over here, but these guys are reacting to it over here, and these guys are reacting on totally different highways. Well, they're reacting because those are agents that had to deal and go, use that issued exit. All right, so, I got a whole theory in that too. Agents, when they know that they're approaching an exit that's going to be a problem, right, that breaks the rules, well, they don't know what rules they break or where those rules are broken. It just comes back as an error, but you can pass, right? So they go into a default mode, which is usually single laning, which is what I call zombie trafficking. Until you attend or fix. Like, as far as I'm concerned, this single lane here is trying to tell me something. Either I've got too many lanes or too few lanes or something. It means something. That's what I'm trying to say. But would you ever have guessed? Now, I'm not saying it's true, but doesn't it look like... See, now the 6 lane is being used. Attention, the 6 lane is now congested. The bypass is fully open. Use the bypass. Right? They start, they'll get of course, they got the signal way before I announced it. But now they migrate over to the bypass. Yeah. They're using the flow chart, and they have been all along. Thankfully, I built this because it was watching this where it just kind of, it's the only thing that makes sense to me. If you've got a better idea, yeah, I'm all ears. Anyways, let's see how long this is. Ciao for now, folks. Have fun. And perhaps I'll get back to... I don't know what direction I'm going to go in. I really don't.